Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be showing you guys how I do my nail sets that I want to last. And if you missed my last video, I will have it in the cards, but I did mention that I was going to be doing a video for longevity. So that is what we're going to do today. Let's go ahead and get into it. So as you can see, I'm first pushing back my cuticles using my cuticle pusher. In my opinion, I feel like it's always best to push your cuticles back, even if you feel like you don't have much to do. This will just prevent the, cuticle area from causing any lifting. Next, I'm going to take the opposite end just to scrape up any of that cuticle that I can easily remove. And this isn't necessary, but I do feel like this just makes the process a lot faster once I move on to my hand drill. And this part does not remove all of the cuticle. It just removes anything that's easily sticking up or flaking off already. So yeah, I just like to do this because I feel like it definitely helps speed up the process. And then afterwards, I'm gonna go in with my cuticle bit to further lift up those cuticles. Now, this part is slowed down a little bit, which is why it looks kind of weird, but I wanted to show you that I am holding this nice and parallel to my nail plate. You don't wanna hold it sticking up. You wanna make sure that everything is nice and flat. This is just going to make sure that you're not causing any rings of fire or just unhealthy nails. We really do not want that. So definitely make sure that you're holding it nice and parallel to your nail plate. And when I'm doing this step, I do like to make sure to use this on the lowest speed possible. For my nail drill, the lowest speed is 3000 RPMs, so that is what I'm using it at. And you want to make sure that you are not holding it in one spot for too long because again, you don't want any type of damage or rings of fire. Next, I'm going to take my cuticle nippers and just cut back the excess cuticle that I can get. And for this part, I'm really just cutting off anything that's white and kind of dry. And just so that you guys know, this is not necessary. This is just a cosmetic procedure. I do it because I feel like it makes the nails look a little bit more clean and also because my cuticles grow out really gross. But if you don't like doing this, you definitely do not have to. It is not necessary. So with that being said, this does not really affect the longevity of your nail sets. It's just something I do for looks. Next, I'm going to take a fine sanding band just to file over the surface of my nails. And when I'm doing this, I'm literally just grazing over the surface very, very lightly, and I'm using very light pressure. The point of this step is really just to remove the shine from the natural nails, not to thin out the nails. So make sure that you're being super, super light. You want to use a very, very gentle pressure for this part. With that being said, make sure that you are really focusing on the cuticle area because that's the area that causes the most lifting. So make sure that your cuticle area has no shine whatsoever, but of course, still be gentle. I did make sure to leave this part of the video in real time so that you can see just how fast I'm moving. As you can see, I'm not moving very fast. I'm making sure to take my time. And like I said, I'm being very gentle. You probably can't really tell from the video, but I'm applying the lightest pressure possible because I really want to make sure that I'm preventing damage. This is just my opinion, but I do feel like acrylic and just extension products in general stick better to healthier nails. So I definitely do recommend keeping health in mind when you are doing extensions. Also, if you don't like using a sanding band or an electric drill, I definitely recommend using a hand buffer. I wouldn't use something like a nail file because that may be a little bit too coarse, but with a buffer, it is more difficult to get into the nooks and crannies, so definitely do keep that in mind as it's very important to get into those nooks and crannies, otherwise that can lead to lifting. Now for my thumb, it is a little bit more difficult to kind of file over the entire surface because I don't know, I feel like my nail is kind of growing out permanently damaged. So I feel like my thumbnail kind of serves as a precautionary tale, just to be very gentle with your nails and not to be too harsh, because as you can see, my nail does not grow out properly anymore. So yeah, I don't know. Now, once I've prepped the surface of my nails, I do just like to remove any excess dust using some isopropyl alcohol. Now, I don't feel like this is necessary, maybe, but I do like to do it just in case because once I go in with my nail tips, I want to make sure that there's no dust in the glue and it prevents it from like sticking properly. But I don't necessarily know if that's necessary. I just do it just in case. Next, I'm going to be gluing on my square nail tips using some nail glue. Now in this video, I am using KDS nail glue. It's not my favorite, but I don't really do my nails to last that often, so I just kind of use whatever I have. Now, when you are using nail glue, I definitely recommend putting the glue on the tip instead of the end of your nail. And that's just because when you put it on the tip of your nail, it kind of starts to flood a little bit too much, and yeah, that's just not fun. And also, I don't really feel like this gets mentioned often, but if you are using nail tips with a well in it, make sure that you are using the entirety of the well, because typically the well area is the thinnest part of the nail tip, and any part of that well that's like sticking off the edge of your nails is kind of a weak spot, meaning that it will be easier to break. So definitely make sure that if you are using nails with a well, that you are using the entirety of the well. And if not, full cover tips are definitely the way to go because they don't have the well. And also, while I'm saying that, they also do have nail tips that don't have a well at all. But yes, that is a little recommendation from me. I don't know how scientifically proven that is, but I feel like it's a good tip because I have experienced nails breaking right at the point because I wasn't using the entirety of it. So yeah, definitely learn from my mistakes. Okay, so now I'm basically just cutting and shaping my nails into the shape of the almond, and this is what the shape is looking like. Now, I wasn't really planning on mentioning too much here, but when you are filing the sides of your nails, definitely make sure not to go too crazy, especially when you're filing underneath the nails at this stage, because you really don't want to create any type of ledges, because a ledge is not only ugly to look at, but it also does cause damage to the tips of your nails. And again, I feel like extension products stick better to healthier nails, so definitely make sure to keep that in mind. So after I've shaped up the nails, I'm going to go back in with my fine grit sanding band just to blend the nail tip into my natural nail. Now during this step, I really like to make sure that I'm only focusing on the nail tip and not my natural nail. You really don't want to cause any extra stress on your nails by filing over them constantly. So make sure that the sanding band is directly on top of the nail tip and not your actual nail. And for this step, I'm really just making sure to scuff up the surface because in my opinion, I feel like when you don't do this, there is a possibility that the nail tip can actually like separate from the product on top. And I have had this happen to me and it's very strange and yeah, it's very weird. But of course, some people feel like it's not necessary. Some people do. Definitely do what works best for you. Okay, so now we're on to the acrylic application, and for today I'm going to be using Mia Secret's Dehydrator and Primer. This combo has never done me wrong. However, I have heard a lot of people talk about using this along with Young Nails Protein Bond, and I kind of want to give it a go, although I don't really feel like I need it because without it, I still get my nails to last over 3 weeks if I really need to. But with that being said, I do still kind of want to try it just to see. I don't know. But anyways, I do like to go in with 2 layers of my dehydrator and 2 layers of my primer. Now, in order for you to see whether your prep is good or not is once you put that dehydrator on, and if it completely disappears as soon as you put it on, that's how you know your prep is good. But if you still see areas that are a bit shiny, that may be a sign that there's still oils on the surface of your nails. So yeah, definitely make sure to be on the lookout for the difference between those two. So once I've got the 2 layers of dehydrator and primer, I do like to go in with a very, very small amount of clear on top of my nail plate. Now, I feel like this helps the nails adhere a little bit better. And I feel like it's also great for soak offs, or maybe you just want to do a color change, but you don't want to do a soak off. So if you haven't tried putting a little bit of clear on top of the nail before you go in with your actual color, I definitely recommend it. It has saved me a lot of time, especially when it comes to doing soak offs, because in my opinion, I think that soak offs are just like really annoying. So like if I ever want to do a full set, but I don't feel like taking off the entire product, I can just file the nail super low and still have that layer of clear to protect the natural nail and just go over that with whatever I choose to put on top of it. And I feel like it works really, really great. But after that, I am just going in with my normal product. I don't really think I needed to put a little bit of clear on this nail because the entire nail is clear, but I don't know. But yeah, for this nail, it's going to be a full clear nail, and I make sure to do my nails in probably about 2 to 3 beads, but of course use as many beads as you feel comfortable with. So I'm just repeating the same process on my middle finger. As you can see, that dehydrator is literally disappearing as soon as I put it on. That is a good sign. That means that the nails are prepped really nice and well. And again, I'm going in with the 2 layers of my primer as well. Now, I think this goes without mentioning, but do not oversaturate your nails in this primer. It is not healthy, nor is it helpful. You want to make sure that in between each layer, you are letting it dry just a little bit before you go in with the second layer, because too much primer is just not a great idea. And even though this primer is acid-free, you really do not want to risk getting this on your skin because that can cause contact dermatitis, which is just not great. It leads to inflammation, and you really do not want that. It's not fun to deal with, so definitely make sure to use this sparingly. And after I have both layers of my primer and dehydrator on, I do go in with that very small amount of clear acrylic, and afterwards I'm going to go over that with the nude color. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of all over the place with my application. It's very different pretty much on every single nail, and that's because I'm actually recreating a nail set that I found on Instagram, and I will talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, that also comes with a story, and yeah, I feel like I kind of want to wait to talk about that. So for now, I will just be quiet, and of course we will be back to shape and file these nails. So the application is done, and this is what these nails are looking like so far. So now we're going to go ahead and start shaping up these nails, and for today I'm going to be using this carbide bit here. And as you guys know, when I do almond nails, I do like to stick with using a carbide bit or just a hand drill for the majority of the portion, and afterwards I do go in with my nail file just to correct the shape a little bit, but to be honest, I don't really have to do too much there. Now I did slow this part down just a little bit so that you can see the speed I'm working with when I am sealing my cuticles. Now sealing your cuticles is definitely very important if you want to prevent lifting, because one, it makes sure that like water and oil isn't getting trapped in between the area between the cuticle and the extension, because those waters and oils cause lifting. So make sure that you are focusing on this area. Now for anyone who isn't really familiar with using carbide bits, I definitely recommend using even a sanding band or a cuticle bit for this step. Although I will say that a carbide bit is a lot more fast and effective. But with that being said, if you are not good at using these types of bits, you can accidentally cut yourself, and I've had a lot of experiences with that, so be careful. But when I am working around my cuticle, I do like to move around a lot, and that goes for the entire process. I like to make sure to file over the entire nail at the same time, just to make sure that I'm not causing any heat spikes, and also just to make sure that everything is nice and even. But yeah, again, make sure that you are sealing your cuticles, and even if you don't want to use a hand drill, you can always use a nail file, which I have never tried, but I feel like it could also be effective. Just make sure that everything is nice and sealed and tucked underneath your cuticle area. I also feel like it gives it a nice and like natural look, even though these nails don't look natural at all. Like especially if your nails are like really long, it's not gonna look natural, but for shorter nails, it definitely works to make it look like it's growing out of your nails. But how much you wanna seal your cuticles is definitely a cosmetic thing. It's not necessary to get it super flat towards the cuticle area, but you do wanna make sure that there is no areas that is super thick and bulky. And also you want to make sure that there is no acrylic or product on your skin, because that also does cause lifting, especially if it's like attached to the main body of the product. Like, I don't know if you really understand what I'm trying to say, but let's say your bead for your cuticle was too wet. Some of that product could actually get stuck to the cuticle area, and if you don't seal it, it's going to stay there and cause lifting in the future. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. So the shaping and filing is done, and this is what these nails are looking like. So before we get into the nail art, I'm just going to wipe off my nails using a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take out all of my colors for today. And this nail set is actually inspired by Tracy the Tech and Amy's clients over on Instagram. They did the same set, but it was kind of different the way they did it. So I took inspiration from both. And so I'm just kind of mixing some of these colors together to get the perfect color that I'm looking for. Okay, so once we have all of the colors mixed, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting into these nails. Now, because this video is mainly focusing on longevity, I'm really not going to explain too much of what I'm doing, at least not in an instructional type of way, if that makes any sense. I don't know if instructional is a word, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not really going to be going like step by step, if that makes sense. Now for this nail set, I really wanted to find something that was earthy and like had a lot of natural colors, because this nail set was actually supposed to be a nail set that I was going to be wearing with a specific outfit. So I actually ended up filming this video on Friday, and I tried to move as quickly as possible because it was going to be a very busy weekend, because we were supposed to be going out on Sunday. So the day you're going to be seeing this video was supposed to be the day that we were going out, and we were just going to like go out like with my family and stuff and just like hang out. And so I really wanted to do something that was going to match with my outfit, because I feel like as a person, I'm definitely more like, I feel like I have that earthy aesthetic. I don't really like to put aesthetics onto myself because I don't feel like I fit into one box per se, but overall I feel like I'm very earthy. So I like greens and browns and natural colors. And so I was really excited doing these nails because I'm like, yes, this is going to go perfect. And I was really excited, right? But then like literally a couple of hours after I finished this nail set, we had to postpone our day out. So that was kind of sad. So I kind of just ended up doing this really nice nail set for nothing, because now I have to soak them off before my next video, which I was gonna have to do anyway, but like I can't even show these outside, which is so sad. So maybe I'll do them again when we do go out, but like maybe I'll do them as press-ons. And I feel like that'd be a good idea anyways, because I feel like this nail set deserves another go, because I don't think I really did it to my best ability, especially because this was my first time doing it and I didn't know what I was doing anyway. So maybe we'll try again. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of sad. I mean, it's kind of like just an adult thing. Like sometimes you just can't do what you want when you want. And I hate that. Like adulthood really sucks. Anyway, but no, yeah, we have to postpone it. And it was just going to be something simple anyways. So maybe by then I will find another nail set to do that's still kind of like earthy and matches my style. Also, speaking of my style, I feel like my style is not really evident based on the type of videos that I make, because I feel like I'm all over the place with my nail sets, especially the ones that I show on YouTube. And that's because I really just want to make sure that I am doing a multitude of different aesthetics for different people. But I do feel like I want to start doing more earthy like nail sets, because I feel like it's a part of me that I want to share with you all, because I feel like most nail techs kind of have their own aesthetic and I don't really display mine. So maybe I'll get more into that. So definitely do let me know if you guys would be more into like earthy and natural looking nail sets. I feel like I do still want to do just all different types of nail sets, but I think I want to display my own aesthetic a little bit more, if that makes sense. But anyways, back onto this little weekend type of deal, right? Now, because the weather is nice and the sun is shining and it's just happy vibes, right? I feel like I always want to go out now, but like I don't have the opportunity to go out all the time because I feel like I'm very isolated and I don't have any in-person friends right now. So that kind of sucks. It's like all of my friends are long distance right now and I can't even hang out with them. So like life is hard right now. But anyways, yeah, I do kind of want to start like getting out there more and just doing more things that people my age are doing. Like I'm 21 and I feel like I just don't really do anything. Like I'm an old lady. I just sit in my house all day, which I love it because I'm a homebody, right? But it's kind of boring sometimes and I want to have fun. Now, when I say I want to have fun and like do things that people my age are doing, I don't mean everything, because sometimes people in my age range are like doing a lot and I'm just not really into all of that. Like I don't really think I'm big on like partying or like drinking or anything like that. It doesn't make me special or anything, but I just don't really think I'm into it. But I don't know. I just want to like go out and like have fun and experience different things. And yeah, but again, it's really hard because like I don't have any in-person friends right now. But yeah, hopefully this summer there is a lot of like different things I can do. I know this summer I am planning on doing some things with my sister, so that is always exciting. I haven't really like done anything with my sister in a long time, so I'm kind of excited about that. But yeah, it's very different from how I usually am, because typically I feel like I'm someone who just likes to stay home and just chill, and that's fun and all. But yeah, I'm starting to like change and shift into wanting to do different things and just wanting to experience new things. So yeah, I don't know. It might just be me that's like kind of antsy about getting out there, but I don't know. Let me know if you guys are the same in the comments. I honestly don't know. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to be talking too much about this nail set, but I do want to mention this little like donut thing on my index finger. This really gave me so many issues, and at this point I was like, I don't even know if I like it. Like I was having a really hard time trying to get this perfect like oval shape. And to be honest, I think it's because I used the wrong product. I probably should have used rhinestone glue and just built it up instead, but I thought that it would be better to use this solid nail glue because it's a lot thicker and it'd be easier to form the shape. But I was clearly wrong because this took me about 3 attempts. But yeah, I did decide to keep it, and I feel like after I went in and tried to fix some of the colors a little bit, it definitely looked a lot better. But even still, I feel like I could have done it a lot better. So I don't know. I feel like I definitely want to do this nail set again. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and get into the chrome, and I am painting a very thin layer of matte top coat on these two nails. Now, in my last video, I used chrome and I feel like such an idiot because I literally had so much issues trying to get this chrome to be super shiny. And then the other day I sat down and tried to do some testing to see what works best for the most shiny chrome. And what do you know it? It's top coat and black gel polish, not base coat. So yeah, I just feel like kind of dumb. And I'm pretty sure you guys have also like let me know that it's top coat and not base coat. But what happens with me is sometimes I will feel like I crack the code to get the perfect chrome like effect, and then a few months down the line I'll forget everything and I have to like redo all of my research. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. But yeah, today I kind of got my chrome to look really good. So if you are having issues with getting it super shiny, definitely mix a little bit of top coat with some black gel polish, and you're curing that for 30 seconds. And then once you do that, pretty much it goes on exactly the way you want it. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the seashells, and to be honest, I think I bought more than I'm probably ever going to use of these. But with this being said, I'm so excited to get into summer nails and just like doing beachy themed nail sets. But I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do for the summer yet, so that's kind of just like in my head. I don't know. Also, if you guys have any plans for the summer, definitely let me know what they are in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys are planning on doing. For me, I don't exactly know. All I know is that I want to have fun, but that's all I really know. I would really love to go on vacation this year, but considering that it's already the end of May, I don't really know if I'd be able to, because one, I haven't really planned ahead, so I haven't like pre-recorded anything. Even though I was supposed to pre-record like a very long time ago, I just haven't gotten around to doing that. So if I do ever go away, it'd probably have to be for like a weekend or something like that. But I would love to go on vacation, or maybe just like go to the beach or like an amusement park or something. But I don't know, still thinking about that, still debating on everything. So yeah. Okay, so now we're getting into these gold beads, and this is the second set that I've done with these beads, and I just love them. Like, I don't know. I've had these for quite some time, but I really just don't use them that often, so I'm trying to use them a lot more. And the nail sets that I have been doing and finding have been just working so perfectly with these beads. But even still, I don't think that I'm going to be able to use all of these because I think I brought a little bit too many, but that's okay. But I did do these kind of different from how they're done in the reference photo. Instead of having like 5 or 6, I did make sure to put like a good amount on these. And now that I'm finished with all of the nail art, I'm just going in with a single layer of top coat. So the nails are done, and this is what they are looking like so far. And to finish off this nail set, I'm going to go in with a little bit of cuticle oil. And that completes today's set. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this one. This nail set is right up my alley with the natural colors and the golds. And I don't know about you, but I love gold, like gold anything. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I don't really do too many nail sets that display my interests. And I hope that maybe I can do more of these in the future. I hope that you found this video to be helpful and educational if you struggle with longevity. The things that I talked about, like as in like tips and stuff, aren't necessarily end all be all because I am not a professional nail tech, so I don't want to give you false information on anything that I am not qualified to. But for anyone who does their nails at home, or maybe they just like to practice and do nail art, I hope that you found some useful information that you can use for your own nail sets. As for this nail set overall, again, I love it, and as you guys know, I've been giving myself a rating system, so I would definitely give this nail set a good 7 out of 10. Now, the reason for the couple of points being knocked off is because of that pointer finger. I feel like the circle is a little bit too big, and also it's kind of lumpy, which kind of ruins the effect. So maybe in the future I could redo this nail and make it look a little bit better. But other than that, I think this nail set is definitely a win. So let me know what your ratings are below as well. But as always, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you guys at the next one.